Okay guys, welcome back to Digital Artcast. Thanks for joining us for another episode. Once again, I'm here with a great interview. Another member of CD Projekt Red has crossed my door. I'm joined today by Marcin Klicki, and I hope I got that right. Please God.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, no worries, Marcin. No worries. We've had a previous member of CD Projekt Red on before, your friend Mark, that you know obviously. But this is a first for Digital Artcast because you are the first 3D artist we've had on this podcast. So,
it will be fun.
Yeah, I'm sure. Yeah, I'll probably get lost in some of your technical talk when it comes to 3D stuff, but we'll push on. We'll be fine. So yeah, again, probably the same thing because I think with 2D and 3D, there are some overlaps because we're all artists. So I mean, there are the same kind of things that apply to like color composition, light, all comes into 3D as much as it does 2D. But obviously your specialization is characters and monsters. But even going further back, as we do mostly when we talk to artists, was your path traditional like most people? Did you even maybe start in 2D in school and then find 3D? Like how, take us back, how far back you want to go? How did you start in art?
Okay, so it was like late 90s.
Cool.
And my friend actually, I was in his house and he showed me, I don't know, like a couple of renders. Mm-hmm. And he told me that his brother did it. And I was like, seriously? Your brother did it? How? How was he able to do it?
Yeah.
And he gave me the program called 3ds Max. It was 1.0 3ds Max.
Right. So
it was, I don't know, it was 97, 98.
Wow. Yeah.
And I was like, okay, I was so like those images was so perfect back then. I was like, okay, I need to know and I need to do something like this guys were doing back then, right?
Yeah.
So I went home. I was installing the 3ds Max and open it, and I was unable to do shit.
Oh.
There was no help, no internet connection, no nothing. Yeah. So I was like, putting teapots on the scene and spheres, and I was like, okay, I think this is the best what I'm ever going to do. But after a while, there was like second max, third max, and then the internet was more popular in Polish. In Poland, right?
Yeah.
So back then there was that site called 3ds Max. It's actually 3DX Max 3D PL, right?
Yeah.
It's still here even today. Mm-hmm. And there was like big library of the tutorials, right?
Yep.
So I download them, of course, without images because I was only having the modem in my house, and it was so expensive. So I only download the text and I was doing all the things that was in this tutorial. So back then I didn't even know that I want to do the characters, right?
Right. Yeah.
So another couple of years went past and actually it was like end of my high school or something like this. There was like the contest, Half-Life contest, something like this. Half-Life 2 was going out.
All right.
And there was like contest to create like a cool image for it, right?
Nice.
And I was like, okay, I probably should do something for it, right? So I have like couple of problems with my computer. Like I didn't have like good computer, so I was only able to work in the internet coffee.
Right.
The internet coffee. I don't know how to call this place.
The cafe, you mean? Internet cafe?
Yeah. Internet. Yeah. You got only computers in this place and internet, and that's it, right?
Yeah.
So I downloaded the Wings 3D program. Right. It's like free 3D modeling tool, but only for the modeling, right?
Right, yeah.
And I was trying to model something, and I actually did like the piece for this contest. And after this contest, I never win this contest. So I just did the piece, and I was like happy that I made it. Mm-hmm. And after this, I was like doing more models, and I was like, okay, this is what I think I will love to do in the future. Of course, ZBrush 2.0 was like the groundbreaking like moment.
Yeah.
When I saw this program, I was like blown away, like really.
Yeah. Was that the first time by chance that Dynamesh came in to effect?
No.
That was pre-Dynamesh.
ZBrush 2.0, it was the first ZBrush that you were actually be able to do something in it, like sculpt in 3D. Okay, I'm over exaggerating right now, but this is a little bit true in it. Yeah. Dynamesh was in, I don't know, probably in ZBrush 3.5, I think. So, but I don't remember, to be honest.
Right.
Yeah, and after this, I took like another couple. I was always trying to pick some challenges and do pieces for the contest, right? The different contests. I actually won one with Jimi Hendrix caricature.
Oh, right, yeah.
Yeah, so I won the contest. Like it was the biggest Polish contest in the site called Max 3DPL.
Yeah.
And after this piece, somebody was like, somebody just write to me if I want to have like job or something.
Oh wow!
Like this, and I was like, okay, this is. This is it. So I just packed my stuff and went to the Warsaw. I changed my home city to the Warsaw, and after it was like 10 years ago.
Wow.
Actually.
Yeah. And then, so that was your first gig, like your first official job.
Yeah.
What specifically were you doing? Was it characters?
No.
Right.
No. To actually the road was so complicated to be in this place when I'm now that I can like work on the characters for the full time, right?
Yeah.
Because my first job was the first job, it was like a 2 months contract in the Platizimage, and I was doing the expo advert. I don't know how to.
All right, like an exposition advert, like an advertisement.
Yeah, advertisement for the Expo 2012.
Right, I see. Right,
but it was in 2007, right?
Way ahead of its time. Yeah.
Way ahead. Yeah, exactly. And I was like, I like the job, but I wanted to do the characters.
Yeah, it wasn't your ideal job. It was the same, I think, when we spoke to Marek, because he had talked about his first job was an advertisement, and I think he even hit a slump when the kind of 2008 crash came. So I mean, like it's long road ahead.
Yeah, that's true. And after this 2 months of the contract, I went back to home. And after a couple of months, I just go back to the Warsaw, to the different company, right?
All right, cool.
And then I was doing more or less the more things that I actually wanted to do, but more characters, but not only the characters, right?
Right.
I was working there for 2 years. I learned a lot. Mm-hmm. And after this, I go back to the Platizimage one more time.
Right.
Yeah, and I was doing the only advertisement for like 2 years. And so after this, adverts. Only adverts.
Yeah, but I was going to say that when you were moving between, did you at the time stay far from Warsaw? Was that a big commute? Was that a big journey?
No, I went back home only once.
Right, but again, Warsaw, where you were staying, was that a long distance? Was that like 20, 30 miles, or a couple of hours in the train, or?
Oh, no. A lot of the companies are more or less in the same in the same place in Warsaw.
Right, I
Like
see.
in maybe in the north of the city center, but more or less, now I got like 20 kilometers from my house to my work.
Oh, well, that's not
So
too bad.
it's like more or less 30 minutes by car.
Yeah. Oh, that's decent. Yeah, that's fair enough. Yeah.
Yeah, so it's okay.
Yeah.
But yeah. Anyway, I was doing the advertisement for like 2 years, and after my work, I was always doing the characters.
Yeah. Yeah.
I even tried to uh, do my job quicker because in Platijimash we got like time that was no regulated, right?
Right. Yeah.
If you done your job, you can go to home, right?
Right. Yeah.
So it was great back then, and I was like, I was trying to finish my work a little bit faster and do my characters in work.
Yeah.
Yeah. So after the Platishi match, I was like thinking about moving and try just go to the place that I will be only doing the characters for 8 hours, right?
Right.
Per
Yeah.
day.
Yeah.
Because it's like it's very important. The one thing that I learned, it's like your decision that you will make when you are picking your first job.
Yeah.
It's really important, and I think people are not thinking about it. Like they just want to go and work and be in the company.
Yep.
But but it's so much more, because sometimes you will be in the place that you are earning the money, and it's like you are living on your own, and and it's sometimes it's hard to travel your road, because if you want to be the character artist, sometimes you need to go to the different company and earn a lot less, and sometimes it's like, okay, I cannot afford to earn less, right?
Yeah.
And you putting yourself like in this little cage, so it's very hard to go out from this cage, right?
Yeah,
and I was exactly in the same position because I got like house mortgage and other like things that I need to pay month per month, and when I was going to CD Projekt Red, I was like earning much less than I was like earning in my previous work, right?
Oh wow, yeah.
Yeah, but after the Platishi match, I went to the Arstania, and I was doing their like characters. But I just like make my decision to that I want to do characters. So when I go there, I was like thinking that, okay, this is probably not the good place. And after I made my decision that I want to do only the characters, I need to be like consistent, right?
Yeah.
So I just went and I don't know how to call it, quit the job and just went to home, and I was like for almost a year I was like freelance artist.
Oh right, yeah.
And it was like it was like not maybe the best experience in my life, but I learned a lot from it.
Yeah.
Like many different things that people are not paying you on the time, right?
Yeah.
You always need to have your money on your bank account, and just to have like big pillow that if in case something
happens,
you are able to pay your rent or something.
Yeah.
And after this, I was like doing like couple of like tests for many like different companies.
Art tests,
like, art tests for CD Projekt and like different companies, and I was like trying to get to the game industry, because I never for like almost like I don't know 5 or 6 years I never was like working inside of the game industry. I was doing like freelance models to the games, but never working inside of the industry.
So what? So see, when you were applying or doing art tests for CD Projekt Red, like at the time, what age were you then?
It was like 5 years ago, so I was like 28.
28, right? Okay, yeah.
Maybe 27.
Right. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
So you're doing these art tests for CD Projekt Red and
Hmm?
the other companies, and you want to work in games. Um, so you're probably talking from your first job till you got into CD Projekt Red.
Yeah.
How long was that? Was that like 10 years, maybe less, or?
It's, I think it was more or less like 5. Okay, it was like 6, 7 years
Yeah.
of
So
work in the. I was like searching. I always knew that I want to do characters,
right. Yeah.
but when you pick wrong your first company,
Yeah.
it's hard to go and do what you want to do.
And I totally understand that because I've seen so many people, like even walk into a job where they're going to do like say props and guns and stuff, and it's not what they want to do. They want to do environments, but they're stuck doing guns for like 2 years
Yeah,
because they just want to work in the company and they just want to have a wage. So, yeah, that's why I bring it up, and I kind of try and talk about the span as well because I think people expect to walk out of universities and schools and straight into like AAA studios to work, whereas it's like the opposite approach. You really should be starting in your smaller companies and then freelancing and then building, and then
yeah.
that goal is that the higher echelon, of what you want to go for.
To be honest, when you start your first job in the like big known company like AAA studio,
Yeah,
I think you got so much luck for the like for your first job
yeah,
that you are not thinking that how lucky you are
yeah,
actually.
yeah,
And it's like because you should start from the smaller company even
yeah,
if you are very good, like you
yeah,
should feel how it is if you are working in a smaller company,
yeah.
because you need to know how sometimes bad can it be,
Yeah,
right?
I mean that's totally what I was just going to say. Is that in bigger companies, the thing I'm learning working at Axis is the pipeline and the teamwork process, the review process. I mean, you can be a great artist, but if you've not really done much teamwork stuff or you've not worked within a pipeline in a studio, that stuff can be very intimidating in a bigger studio because when you walk into AAA stuff like CD Projekt Red, they're expecting you to kind of know the pipeline, to know the processes you go through to create art.
Yeah, that's true. But even when I was like new in the CD project, it's
Mhm.
like more or less okay. So we got the procedure looks more or less like this.
Mhm.
When you go to the CD project and you are hired,
Mhm.
you got like uh, you got like 1 month just to see how everything is working. So so they are giving you the model, right?
Mhm. Mhm.
But you don't have any like certain time to finish it, right?
Right.
You can do it how long you are want to do it.
Right. Okay.
So and also you need to learn like different softwares like Perforce just to put the your files on the server, and
Yeah.
it's like it's a little bit annoying, and it's taking like long time to learn every like procedure you want to actually you need to do, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, it's like I think it's after someone is working like 5 months in the city project,
Mhm.
he's more or less know how the pipeline
Works. Yeah.
yeah works
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah.
So it's not like you just go to the company and you should know everything
Yeah.
that I don't know they want you to know. Like
Yeah.
you need this time just to like
Adjust. Yeah.
adjust and
Yeah. Yeah.
feel like the part of the company. And
Yeah.
yeah, and in CD Project, this I never in different companies like I never. Mm, it never was like that, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So when I was for like I don't know first 2 months I was like trying to do all the things like um, ultra fast, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So I was like sitting there only like sculpting the things just to finish them and just to
Yeah.
show that okay I'm able to do it,
Yeah.
right? But it's like no rush, we can do it, like everyone is okay with that, so
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. But I mean, it must have been intimidating even walking into a studio of that size. But then again, I'm thinking, as Marek was telling me, depending when you came on, because I think from The Witcher 2 to The Witcher 3, I think the studio went from like 20 people to like 200. Was that right?
Yeah, more, or maybe not 20, but it was like more or less 50, maybe 100 people.
Right.
And from Witcher 2, exactly, I was like, my first day in the company was like, I don't know, 2 months after the Marek joined.
Right.
Studio. Yep. So it was like more or less after the Witcher 2. Right? So, yeah.
So you were starting pre-production on Witcher 3?
Yeah, that's true. And actually, I think the company is like 2 times bigger until the end of The Witcher, and now it's even bigger.
Yeah.
So.
And is that when you were going in there, just in pre-production for Witcher, were you specifically then going to be characters?
Yeah. Right. I was like applying only for the character artist, and they just, I was a little bit lucky, so because I was by happy accident I was able to do like more or less cool sculpt of the face. So our lead was like, okay, this face is cool, let's hire this guy, and I just went there. I was talking with the guys, and they were like, okay, you did like cool job with the artist, we will hire you. And and after this, I was like only doing characters for like 8 hours per day, and it's like my it's like promised land for me.
Yeah, definitely.
I was like pursuing this goal just to do the characters because it's so hard. Like every every artist know this, that everyday job of the artist is like struggle.
Yeah.
To go to work for 8 hours, and then go back to home and still work on your stuff.
Yeah.
So it's like all the time struggle with yourself, like fighting, because sometimes, as I told you, in your work you are not doing the things that you want to do.
Yeah.
And you need to like work after hours just to, create your portfolio.
Yeah.
Just to have chance to, change your job and, pursue your dreams, right?
Yeah. I mean, because one of the things I saw not too long ago was your head sculpt of Ron Swanson, and that to me was obviously great because it was away from your usual stuff. But I mean, this is a subject we've covered so much in Digital Artcast. It's never going to get redundant because it's so poignant. But the power of personal projects is a massive thing. I mean, I'm sure you'll agree, right, that you need to have that thing away from work that still pushes you as an artist.
Yeah, this is, for me, it's so hard to accomplish them.
Yeah.
I'm so happy that I just finished this guy with the eyes all over the body.
Yeah.
Because it's like the personal work that is only mine, and I was struggling with to finish this guy for like a couple of months, and after I finished this guy, I was like, Jesus Christ, I'm able to do something after work that I can finish. Like it's so like you can feel so good about it. Like seriously, I'm so happy that I was able to finish it. So but I'm trying to do like stuff just to like maybe not master something, but just to exercise, right? So I'm doing faces, and I'm not like posting everything that I am doing.
Yeah. But I think, I mean, totally. I think it's the thing. I think which is a drawn similarity I've found to this industry is professional athletes, and people will probably say that's ridiculous because no artist is a professional athlete. I says, well, hold on a minute, because athletes go out and play, say like a footballer, for instance, because we're in Europe, so football, soccer for the Americans. But they'll go out and play a game for 90 minutes, and then they'll come off. They'll have their rest, and the next day, and from the day they play a game to the next day they play a game, they're training all the way in between, because
that's true.
Because they've got to keep that sharp physical peak constantly, because they need to be at the top of their game to play on that level all the time. When you're working for like CD Projekt Red, your hand needs to be working out constantly. But
that's true.
Yeah. Boom boom. So yeah, but you know what I mean. You
Yeah,
need
I
you
know,
need
I know what you
you
mean.
need to be practicing your craft constantly because there's always going to be some new guy that's 15 years younger than you that's twice as good. I mean, I met a guy, Javier, in Axis, and he's 25, and he's got a twin brother, and they're both super talented for their age. Not only in 3D but also 2D, which is crazy. And that's what I'm saying. You know, there's always going to be somebody like that in the industry. You know, fighting for a job, and that's why you have to keep practicing because you're still fighting for your job every day, more or less.
Also, when we are doing the characters, okay, my portfolio is like strictly, I'm thinking only about the sculptures, right?
Yeah, yeah,
So I'm not posting any low polys or textures or something. I'm doing all these things in CD Projekt. When we do in the game,
yeah,
we are your lead is giving you your task, and
yeah,
your task is to create the character from the start to the end, right?
yeah, yeah,
You're doing all the steps first, like I was like talking about it, like low poly shit.
yeah,
The high poly model,
yeah,
right?
yeah,
And even first is like prototype model,
yeah,
then high poly,
yeah,
then low poly, then baking, then texturing, then you are doing the materials,
yeah,
shading, then you are skinning your model and exporting into the engine. So you are responsible for the whole character, right?
yeah.
So if you think about the sculpting, it's like more or less 7, 10, maybe 15 days.
Wow.
Okay,
Yeah,
so 15 days per month, right?
yeah.
And other like 15 days,
Hmm.
you are not doing any sculpts, right? You are
Right.
finishing your model.
Yeah. So
So you need to practice your skills, right?
yeah,
Uh, it's like, as you told, it's like just muscles, right? You
yeah,
need to practice it, and that's it.
yeah.
And anyway, the people are sometimes asking, what are you thinking about when you are sculpting or drawing, right?
Hmm. Hmm.
So I'm not thinking about anything. Like I'm just, watching what I'm doing, right?
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
like, it's what the forms look like,
Hmm.
and that's it. I'm not thinking about something, right? So when I'm like practicing,
Hmm.
I'm like spending more time to, I don't know, browse the Pinterest or
Hmm.
browse the ArtStation, because you need to feed your mind also, right?
Yeah, yeah.
With different arts, different concepts and stuff. It's
Hmm.
very, very important to do it. Like
Yeah,
seriously,
yeah.
I'm.
I was going to say just an interest for coming from a 2D background, especially for me, just learning 3D. But do you have a background in? Do you do any 2D sketch stuff at all, or are you purely just
uh,
3D?
like 2 years ago, I was like, you know, mature enough and think about that I should start drawing, right?
Right.
So I went to the classes, and I was starting to drawing a little bit.
Hmm.
I'm not drawing like full professional, and I don't know, photorealistic stuff, but
Yeah, yeah.
every character artist or 3D graphic should know how to uh, how to draw. They don't need to be like professionals in it,
Yeah.
because I learned so much when I was like trying to shade something, right? To
Right, right.
to
Yeah.
have like 3D, to draw the 3D objects in space, right?
Yeah.
It's
Yep.
so hard to shade it, but when you do it, you are like adjusting your A also for the things that actually you are doing in the ZBrush.
Yeah.
You know how to look on the values, like you know how light should behave. Like,
Yeah.
okay, but cut to the chase. You should learn, and you should try to draw. You don't need to be professional.
Hmm.
The better the artist you are, like traditional artist,
Yeah.
the better sculptor or 3D artist you will be, right?
Ah, interesting.
Because
Yeah.
you need to have like this traditional skills. So
Yeah.
yeah, we got at CD Projekt, we got like this lessons,
Hmm.
live drawing lessons. So
Right.
I'm trying to attend like every lessons, because
Yeah.
we got like 4 hours per month
Hmm.
to do it. So I'm trying to
getting what you can.
Just to draw, and
Yeah.
I don't need to be like super skilled in it. So I'm
Yeah.
like not putting a pressure on myself. I just go there and like draw the stuff. I know that I'm shit,
Mm.
but I don't care. I just do it, and I know that someday I will be less shit than I
Yeah,
am now.
yeah,
Right?
less shit. But then obviously
Yeah.
it helps that you're surrounded by so many artists as well. Like even like with Marek, I mean, you can, if you wanted to, maybe ask him for feedback on stuff, or maybe.
Yeah, I'm doing this all the time.
Yeah, well,
Seriously.
that's good. And then obviously, like if Marek ever wants to come to you eventually for any 3D stuff, it's like it's a two-way street. It's great like that. So,
Yeah.
yeah, definitely. And I mean, I think what you're saying is right, because when we spoke to Matt Rhodes, or Colin spoke to Matt Rhodes, he obviously said that he found the guys who come to do 3D who are really good at 2D or just decent at 2D become like 3D modeling monsters. They're just they can model so much more clearly and methodically than most generalists, because they have such a base understanding of stuff like anatomy and composition. Um, so yeah, I mean, I totally agree with what you're saying. I think 2D is, even for 3D, I think 2D is an integral part. I mean, it's even going both ways now with concept, because with concept and people are using 3D models to mock stuff up quickly and then do paint overs.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Cool.
yeah, definitely.
Even for yourself, exactly. When you are doing like model and you are not like convinced
Mm-hmm.
convinced like 100% that what you did is like perfect,
Yeah.
so you can always like take the screen grab,
Mm-hmm.
and it's easier and faster to paint over something in Photoshop,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Then do it in ZBrush,
Yeah.
because you always need to look from the different angles, and like you need to be focused on more things that actually you can draw fast in Photoshop, like I don't know, 10
Yeah.
minutes or
Yeah.
15 minutes, and you already have like reference for your own, right?
Yeah. I mean, because you could even just throw a basic light in the scene, and then that gives you lighting for like everything in the scene already. So it's
Yeah.
once you render it out, that's the whole scene completed. You just need to add in the detail and the colors, and yeah, that's it's so much easier. And that's what I was going to say as well as just going back how you talked about focusing on characters and how you took time out to just specialize in that. This is a conversation I've had with a couple of artists, and we've talked about specialization versus generalist. Do you feel in the industry that, I mean, I'm talking probably movies and games here, but do you feel like there's more demand for people who are specialized, or do you feel that you can be general in most areas? What do you think?
It's hard to judge, to be honest, because
Mm,
maybe in the movies there is like more place to be the general artist,
yeah,
but in games I think there will be more and more specific work to do.
yeah, yep. So obviously, because you got hired as a 3D character artist, and you were really
Mhm.
good at building 3D characters and nothing else. So, when people are looking for
Yeah,
that particular job, they'll go to a particular person.
yeah, that's true.
Yeah,
That's true. That's why when you are creating your portfolio, you can also you should also think about what kind of works you want to have in your portfolio, right?
yeah,
So sometimes it's better to have like three pieces,
yeah,
right?
yep,
But only like maybe like only good three pieces,
yeah.
and those three pieces like represent what you want to do in your work.
Yeah, definitely. And I think a lot of people have said that is that rather than having like 50 pieces that are like kind of okay, if you just had three that were like solid, then that is
Yeah,
way
yeah,
better.
exactly.
Yeah, even for 3D, it's the same. If you've done 20 models, but only like three of them are really really good, then obviously just show the three. Yeah, because
Yeah,
yeah,
that's true.
yeah. And then again with your portfolio, I've found one of the best things to do now. A lot of people have talked about it is to tailor your whole portfolio to like a particular studio.
Hmm.
Yeah. So like if you're going to work for CG Projekt Red, you would look at their stuff and say, right, well, it's fantasy based, and well, obviously not now with Cyberpunk, but if you were going say for the Witcher jobs, you would say, right, okay, well, it's fantasy based. It takes place in environments that are mostly grass and trees and castles. So environment guys, okay, I need to focus on fantasy stuff. Then 3D modeler guys, I need to look at creatures. I need to look at old school medieval guys, and then that would be your portfolio. You wouldn't want to like hand them a portfolio that was like for I don't know Rockstar, like it was mostly cities and cars and guys with guns.
Yeah, that's true, exactly.
Yeah.
So probably they will not even respond.
But that's the thing, though. People always say that. I mean, I'm talking as a complete amateur here, but the more professional people I spoke to, they have said, believe it or not, people do that. You know, even the guys I know in Rockstar, who have had portfolios sent to them of like like orcs with axes and armor plating and I mean they get it, and then like that stuff's cool to draw, but like we are a city-based game, like all our games take place in cities, so with humans, so where is that going to fit into our portfolio? You know what I mean? So it does happen.
If you send your portfolio to Rockstar and you don't have like photorealistic characters, right?
Mm-hmm.
So probably you are sending the wrong portfolio.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, you have to really. I think it's what people fail a lot in the portfolio is they don't research enough into the studio and understand what it is specifically they do. Because obviously, like I said, sending orcs and stuff is cool. Like if you're applying for Blizzard, right? That'd be fine. That's the kind of stuff they make. And obviously loads of other fantasy places around Europe. But if you're going for CD Projekt or Rockstar, you have to make sure the stuff is tailored to. Because even with a lot of the high fantasy stuff, it can be super stylized sometimes. But even Witcher is super high realism. Even though it's fantasy based, the characters and humans look super real. So yeah, you've got to tailor that, because if you do fantasy stuff that is basically super stylized like Blizzard, it wouldn't fit with CD Projekt Red because you guys bring a level of realism to the fantasy genre.
Yeah, but sometimes also you can be a little bit lucky, and when you send portfolio that you have, I don't know, great orcs, they will give you chance to do the test.
Right. Yeah.
Right, and they will judge from the test that are you able to do the things that they want to do or not. So sometimes you can be lucky, but I think it's better to have like portfolio just for the company you want to work. Because you need to do the test. And sometimes when you got your portfolio, there is a chance that they will not ask you to do it.
I mean, it's definitely
you will be just hired, right?
Yeah, pretty much. Like, I mean, if you've got the exact thing they're looking for, then they're not even going to waste time. They'd be like, "Well, this is what we need. Can we hire this guy today? Send him a contract." So it's that lucky, and I think it's probably a better idea to do it like that, because then you're cutting less element of not even being responded to. And then even a good thing to do, I know animation guys do this, where you can create, say, like 50 pieces, but then you're like, oh, look, I'm applying to CD Projekt Red, so I'll make a portfolio that's just the fantasy stuff, or just the high realist fantasy stuff, and then take like maybe 15 pieces out of that 50 and make it just for that portfolio, and then have another portfolio ready for like Rockstar, and like one for because if you can sculpt in 3D and do characters, you can do variations in different styles. So,
yeah, that's true. But now we are doing the different projects. So Witcher is over definitely. So.
Yeah, and again, that's got to be a shift for you, because I talked to Mark about it, and obviously he was talking about you can't say much. You can't really say anything because the project's
that's true.
Yeah, but even just stylistically or process wise, are you finding stuff different from The Witcher? Are you finding new challenges if you're coming into this new genre?
It's like it's totally different approach, right?
Yeah.
And for me, it's so challenging. Like seriously, because I will need to learn so much stuff that I never did before.
Yeah.
So, but I'm like I'm happy for now that I can learn new things. So I hope, after a couple of years, I will be like, doing this stuff like, like this, cool, and then they are done, right?
But that's good, at least that the project is challenging you, because I think that's what makes you grow as not just a person, but as an artist.
Yeah, exactly.
And then you'll find that once you've hit that next milestone and Cyberpunk's released, then the next project hopefully will do the same thing. It'll again shake, because then that's what makes you stay. That's what makes you want to keep working, is because you don't want to get boring. Because then when it gets boring and it gets mundane, then you don't want to be there. You want to go do something else. But it's probably testament to CD Projekt Red how well they treat their employees and how diverse their projects is. That's why people stay. That's why people want to be there.
Yeah, true. Yeah. But anyway, also the good idea is just to when you are bored, the good idea is just to sometimes play on the PlayStation. Like or I don't know, or change your. Okay, if you're a 3D artist and you're a little bit bored, just try to draw something.
Yeah.
It's so challenging, right?
Yeah.
So you can think that, okay, from now on until the end of the year, I will try to learn how to, I don't know, create the portrait or something.
Yeah.
And just not to be bored, right?
Yeah.
There is so many different categories that you can also grow yourself, right? I don't know, composition, also photography, right? You can buy yourself a camera and just go and take the pictures. It's also it's not part of your job, but it's still it's still thing that
it helps. Yeah, that definitely
helps you grow. Yeah, exactly.
Especially photography, because with photography you're still dealing with stuff like light and composition and your really thirds. True. So I mean, we were both, because a lot of guys will probably know this, but we do talk about this a lot. How me and you met back at industry workshops last year, and we did get to see. I don't know if did you see Aaron Beck's talk?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, so Aaron, obviously, we know, or people should know, that he's a huge photography nut, and he takes pictures of spiders and wildlife, bugs, which is obviously, not far removed from what he does, but, it's something outside of his 3D, 2D art that, makes him more of an interesting person, or gives him that fuller kind of range in his art. And yeah, that's the kind of stuff you need to be doing, because, I mean, I even know people who are just artists that are amazing, but they're also gamers. So when they're not kind of pushing the envelope with their art, they will just sit and play, Horizon for a couple of hours, or Skyrim or something, just to bring their imagination back, to try and explore, or watch a movie, or watch a TV series. I think some people try to go through this life, especially when they're an artist and they're young, and they sacrifice so much to try and make their art better, but they still forget to have a life, which I think is a balance that everybody fights. You know what I mean? Because you'd said obviously you're married.
Yeah. It's I got the best wife in the world, because she is so super supportive, and when I need to work, she understands that I need to work. But I got the same problem, with my time management, and sometimes I'm I'm working all the time.
Yeah.
And after this, I got 1 month that I don't do nothing. I just watching TV, watching movies, playing games, or it's even longer than one month.
Yeah.
And after this, I got one more time that I need to just go back from work and sit down and do my work, right?
Yeah, yeah. But then at least you've got that support network there, which is very rare to find. I think is that when you find a partner who is so understanding of your career, because we all know how much hours it takes to make these things and how hard you have to work every day. So I mean, finding somebody who obviously you can click with, that has that kind of understanding for industry, is good. But then, is your wife, is she involved in the industry as well, or is she separate?
No. She's doing different things.
Right. But that's even better though, because obviously sometimes it's easier to find people who are in the industry because they understand it, because they've been in it. But because she's separate from it, she still understands. That's really good.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. That's true. Because more of my friends, many of my friends got wives from the industry.
Yeah.
Because they understand how many hours they need to be in work, or when the crunch time is on, that you need to be in work, right?
Yeah.
But I got as I told you, I got best wife in the world, that she understands that sometimes I need to just sit and work, and that's it.
Yeah, it's good. And do you have children, Marcin, or?
Fortunately, not yet.
Thank God, eh? I know. Because that's just your time straight out the window. You've just no time then, because obviously it's, you're trying to look after a family as well. That would be even harder. I mean, I do know a few artists who have kids, and funnily enough, actually, a lot of them have left having kids till they were a bit older. Actually, probably mid-30s, late 30s, but yeah, it's the wife is one thing, but then having to look after kids, or a kid even, is...
I got so much respect for those people that are able to manage to have kids, and they are able to you know,
Yeah,
manage your time
really
that
well.
well that they still can work on their personal stuff. Like
Oh yeah, I mean,
this is amazing, right?
there's
Like
yeah, I mean, there's one guy I know from Rockstar, Woody, and you know, he works all day at Rockstar, comes home at night, you know, puts his kid to bed, feeds her and washes her, and then works on a comic at night till, you know, midnight, nearly every
so
day.
much respect.
Yeah, yeah, it's ridiculous. And then, I mean, like moving forward, obviously into this new project as well. Are you finding? Are you guys taking? Is your studio growing again? Is it getting bigger? Are you
Yeah,
taking?
that's
Right,
true.
right, okay.
We got like twice bigger than we've been when we were doing the Witcher
Yeah,
3.
yeah. Because I could even imagine the way it'll structure now. Because I think Mark was roughly talking about it, where you'll still have kind of a team looking after Witcher, and then you'll have guys on Gwent, and
Yep,
then obviously Cyberpunk's getting pushed now as well.
yep.
So yeah. So is that it? You kind of split into those kind of quadrants?
So we got like guys from the Gwen that they are sitting in the different building level, right?
Right, right, okay.
Still on different floor, right?
Right, right,
So actually, I don't I don't know these people.
right.
The studio is so big that you are unable to know everyone.
Oh wow. Yeah.
Unfortunately.
Yeah, yeah.
So we are sitting on the first floor and we are doing the cyberpunk, and
Yeah.
I cannot tell you more.
Yeah. No, no, no.
Unfortunately, I would like to tell you more, but
Yeah.
unfortunately I can't.
Yeah.
Those projects are
Super
ridiculous.
secretive. Yeah. I mean,
Yes, super sick.
it's the same with Axis. I mean, they're working with some massive international clients, and
Uh-huh.
you know, they have projects. You know, like when I walk in and I'm like, oh my god, I can't believe they're working on that. But you
Yeah.
know, you just can't tell anybody because it would ruin the relationship, especially when you're working with a third party client, because then if you ruin that relationship, it also ruins you further down the line for work. And yeah, it's the same with Cyberpunk. I mean, it's been announced, we know, we've seen the trailer, but you know, further than that, obviously, you can't say anything. But it will be an interesting time because obviously, as a fan, I know E3 is coming up in June. I know there'll be some studios working on some stuff with E3, so you know that could possibly be something down the line. We don't know, so we'll not have you say anything. It's fine. I know you can't talk about it, so but yeah, that would be cool.
Anyway, I remember the one, not only one, but I remembered a couple of animations from the Axis, but I remember this animation for the Dead Island. Like,
Oh yeah, way back.
this is
Yeah,
like my favorite animation from them. Like, it's really
yeah.
amazing studio.
Yeah, even the stuff they've done recently. I mean, they've been working with Relic. They've been doing Dawn of War, which obviously has been
Hmm?
announced and the trailer's been out. But yeah, there's even some bigger projects behind that they can't talk about. Obviously, or I can't talk about.
Nice.
But yeah, it's good to see the studio is growing because they started obviously back in 2000 and they did experience times when there wasn't a lot of work, so they had to lay a lot of people off because there just wasn't any work for them. But
Mhm.
it seems to be the opposite now, where Axis are kind of they're so busy. They're so busy every day because there's so much going on, and that's good. It's good that they're like that.
Yeah, that's good.
Definitely keeps
True.
people with jobs. And some of the artists I've met there, even one of the guys I met the first day, you might know him actually. It's his name's, I'm going to get this maybe wrong, but it's Forsberg. Carl Forsberg. He's a 3D character artist. I don't know if you know him.
Let me check.
As far as I know, he is in your Facebook contacts.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah,
Now I know.
yeah, yeah, yeah. So
Uh,
yeah, yeah, because I met Carl and he's doing 3D characters at Axis and yeah, he's been a good guy to talk to on and off for projects and for advice on 3D stuff. But like him, there's so many other people that are super talented 3D guys. There's a girl working there as well. Now I don't know her name specifically, but she done a 3D sculpt of Heisenberg from Breaking Bad.
oh, nice.
And she got into that the 3D Total the ZBrush book. She was in that.
Mhm.
I'm trying. I'll need to find out her name and message you later. But yeah, it's great just seeing all these artists across the whole studio and see what they're working on. Even going to guys at lighting and stuff or environments and seeing how they work in the process and you know how they're lighting a scene, how they're comping stuff, the tools they're using, even finding like really good software that I never knew existed, like Vue. I think it's VUE, and it's like a world builder.
Yeah, world builder. Yeah, that's
Yeah,
very,
yeah,
very good
yeah,
software.
yeah. Because I was trying to do some map painting stuff, and the guys were like,
Uh-huh.
"Oh, yeah, Vue would be good for that because you can generate, a landscape and then
Landscape, yeah.
yeah." So, but yeah, it's been good in access because there's so many people, talent-wise, that it's just I'd have to sit there a whole year just to get around everybody and try and pick their brains about what they're doing. It would be the same coming to CD Projekt. It would be again just the time you guys spend and stuff, and it's difficult as well. I know because as much as people like to go into studios or think I'd love to go and sit and talk and have a day, it's so time consuming because everyone's so busy. I mean, yourself, it'll be a regime of where you come into your desk at whatever time in the morning and you kind of stare at your monitor till you leave because there's so much stuff to do, between answering emails or going to stand-ups or talks, and then obviously pushing stuff forward and getting feedback. It's your day's packed. You've just not got time to talk to anybody really, let alone sit and teach them stuff. Yeah. So, but it's been great at Access because obviously there has been a couple of people that have sat with me for 5-10 minutes and showed me stuff. So it's been great. I've been really really grateful that they've been able to do stuff like that. So yeah, awesome. Cool. So yeah, just as moving forward as we kind of close up here, Marcin. Just working, and maybe specifically on 3D, because I know I do talk about 2D stuff on this podcast a lot, but for 3D, if you were wanting to get into, say, character art, right now, if somebody wanted to have your job at CD Projekt Red, what would be your best advice? Like software or just tutorials or stuff? How would you say would be the best structure to learn?
I think when you are like committed to so when you set your goal in your head and you are committed to like achieve this goal, right?
Yeah.
I think it's you can do it right now with those amazing tutorials, those amazing workshops that there are a lot of on the internet right now.
Yeah.
You can grow so quickly. I think when you just have like money for like, I don't know, 6 months of living inside your house and only do like characters, right?
Yeah.
Sculpting, of course, sculpting characters in ZBrush. So I think it's like 6 months. It's like when you are learning, watching tutorials, attending the workshops, like workshops from the Geo Nakpil. It's amazing, right? So.
Would you say ZBrush is a good starting point for people to learn to sculpt? Is that like?
Yeah, of course. Yeah. I think they should start. They should start from the ZBrush. I don't think that there is any like different software right now on the market that that is so advanced, right?
Yeah.
You can do whatever you want inside of the ZBrush. You got like Dynamesh, so that basically you can sculpt from the from the sphere like you are sculpting in the real time in mold, right?
Yeah.
So it's just amazing. It's like so easy right now. You don't need to think about your topology or something, right? Like that. You don't need to think about the technical stuff, right?
Yeah.
You just sit there, take your pen, and you are starting to sculpt, and that's it. You just many questions from the people I got that the ZBrush is great tool, but the interface is so hard to just to learn, just to sit there and and to feel comfortable with it, right? And I'm always like thinking about, dude, you need to know how to press F2 to bring your brushes and Control D and Shift D, and that's it. Like 3 things you need to learn, and you just dropping your ball into the canvas and you are sculpting it, and that's it.
Yeah.
So don't think about the interface in terms of the that there is something wrong with it or something like it's hard to learn, but just try to focus on the sculpting. You don't need to so you don't need to learn the whole program to start sculpting. To start sculpting, you need to know how to drop the sphere into the canvas and how to add polygons, and that's it. And rest is like sitting there and try to fold and like mold and fold the different like forms, like I don't know, nose, eye, or something like that. Right? right? So anyway, the cool different thing, you can always like try to find try to watch as many like time lapses as you can, right? Time lapses, I mean like those like super fast modeling like videos from the other artists, right? So because everyone got like different approach to how they are modeling eye or the ear or nose or the mouth, right? So sometimes you can like take the couple of different techniques and just put them to yourself, like take them and and sometimes it's a lot easier when you see how someone else did that, right? And you got like okay, I know how to do it right now. Are just doing it. But the most important thing is just to sit on your ass and do the stuff, right? It's not going to you're not going to learn by not doing the art, right? No, nobody will learn you. Nobody definitely will teach you, or I don't know how to call it, right? But nobody will show you, right? You don't need the mentor, you don't need like anyone, but you need your ass to be on the chair and you need to work, right? That's it.
And then again, would you say that with characters it would be easier starting with quite photorealistic stuff, or should you aim towards maybe stylized, or is that just a personal choice, or do you think you can learn anything?
It's like the natural thing is to start from the photorealistic stuff. Okay, if I would, with this knowledge that I have now, will start from the scratch, I would rather start for like creating the portraits, right? And especially I will focus on the face, right? Because if you can do the face, you can do the rest of the stuff, because your eye is trained that to pick the nuances from the references, right? So even Disney, when he's creating the cartoony stuff, is like all the artists there are like perfect artists that they can create the perfect photorealistic pieces. But it's like base that you need to start from. And sometimes you are sometimes it's easier to create monsters, right? Because monsters you can do whatever you want, right? You need to like have basic anatomy, basic idea of the anatomy, how it's worked, and you can create like cool monsters, right? But it's from on the start, it's like easier to create the monsters than the realistic character.
Because obviously the characters have a base anatomy that you have to
you need to know.
Oh no, I was just going to say, I take it, obviously you're talking about building characters as well. Do you feel that there's any, even like, is there books or anything you would recommend, or is it all online, or?
Books. Let me think. Okay. The most important for me. Okay. Artist Anatomy for the Artist by Paul Richet. It's like it's for the anatomy. And you can also think about Elliot Goldfinger's books. Also. Also, I can recommend you a Michael Hampton book that is called Invention and something. Oh my God, I forgot how it's called. Just give me a second.
That's fine.
Figure Drawing, Design and Invention by Michael Hampton, right? And this is like a 2D book, but this guy is like, it's amazing. It's amazing for the start, right? When you are trying to do the, to draw your first like figure drawing, right? And after this, you can start. I don't know, but only for the anatomy, I would rather recommend you the books, right? Because they are like also workshops from the Scott Eaton, right? those are amazing, right? Okay, so but more things you can actually find on the internet when you are thinking about the digital sculpting, like as I told you, the Geo Nakpil, he's doing those workshops also. This guy is amazing, like seriously.
Who was that?
Well, one of
Marcin?
the best artists.
Was that Geo? Did you say?
Geo Nakpil.
Oh right, is he a 3D character artist or?
Yes, he's 3D character artist. I think now he's working on the Oculus, and he's he's helping he's create the software for the new media, software for the sculpting, of course, right?
All right, cool. Honest, cool.
You are just putting your Oculus glasses on your head, and you can in virtual reality sculpt the model, right?
So it's
I never tried it, but it must be amazing.
I take it it's that is it like a tilt brush in a way, kind of similar to?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. And then obviously there's loads of online stuff, the books. Would you recommend as well sculpting by hand, like sculpting actual with clay or something?
Of course. If you got time and if you want to do it, it's like it's great, right? Because the funny thing is, after you know how to sculpt in ZBrush, you also know more or less how to start sculpting in clay.
Right.
You don't know every technique, right?
Yeah.
But more or less you know how to set the proportions and where the eyes should be and other stuff.
Yeah.
But you don't know the techniques to create like details or something because it's like different medium.
Yeah.
But if you will work in clay, you can do this the same sculptures inside of the ZBrush, but you need to learn the tool. And that's the difference, right?
Yeah. Fun enough, actually. That's it's probably where I imagine. This might sound stupid, but I'm assuming is that where the term baking comes from in the 3D process? Because obviously with clay you would then bake it to harden it. I don't know if that. I drew the comparison. I thought it might be similar. So.
I never think about it.
It's
probably.
That's what I thought. Yeah,
that's true.
Well, there you go. See, you learn something new every day, even from me.
Oh yeah, great.
You walk into CD Projekt Red and be like, guys, I've just found out why they call it bacon. You'll never believe this.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
Yeah, but I never thought about it. Seriously, it's from these terms, right?
Yeah, well, that's what I thought. Yeah, it made sense to me. So I mean, why not? Yeah. So anyway, great learning experience.
Also, Ryan Kingslane is
Ryan,
great stuff on the internet. Seriously, not even in terms of creating the tutorials, but he's doing those quick videos about how you should think when you are artist, and those are like mini tutorials how to live and think about different things that you are, as I told you, being an artist is an everyday struggle, right?
Yeah, definitely.
So this guy is telling you how you should think on different approaches, not maybe how you should think, but his approach on this kind of topic, right?
Yeah.
And this is amazing just to hear that somebody else got exactly the same problems as you have. Everyone got the same problems.
Yeah.
Lack of motivation,
confidence, and
exactly, everyone got it.
So it seems to be a huge thing in our industry. Is depression, anxiety, fear of failure. I mean, a lot of this stuff goes hand in hand, I think, with just being a creative. I even watched a documentary about Stephen Fry the other day, the British comedian, and he has depression, clinical depression, and he's bipolar. And I think it's very, I've seen it a lot, and especially Facebook, when I'm friends with a lot of these guys on Facebook, and you see people post about having demons and struggling. It's surprising to me how rampant the problem is with artists in their industry, and it's worrying.
Yeah, because you want so sometimes you want to work, but you don't have like I don't know, inner strength or
Yeah,
something, just to start.
yeah,
Because when you start and you are doing this for like, I don't know, 15, 30 minutes, after this time, you just want to do more, right?
yeah,
You just sit there and you can do for the whole night, right?
yeah,
But
definitely.
sometimes it's just so hard to
The
open the
starting,
ZBrush and start. The
yeah,
starting point is the most hard
difficult,
thing,
yeah.
right? The most difficult.
Yeah, and it's the same with 2D artists. The scariest thing for us is staring at a white canvas on the screen. But for you guys, it will be just the small ball, and
Yeah.
thinking, yeah, where do I start?
Sometimes, dude, sometimes I get something like this that I know I have like 2 hours to create something like just to speed model something, right?
Yeah,
So I'm spending like 1.5 hour on the Pinterest to find like good references and stuff, and then I'm okay. I'm not even going to start today, right? Like,
I've done research today. I'll start tomorrow. So
yeah, exactly.
yeah,
Sometimes you are not confident just to pick something that you have like starting point.
yeah,
So I'm like, trying to find something because you have to fill your head with the ideas, right?
yeah, yeah. I mean, definitely, and people talk about games and movies and trying like, oh, I've not got time to watch movies. I've not got time to play games. That stuff for me feeds my imagination. Like even walking about as Geralt, through the places in The Witcher. It just the creature design, the level design, the forest, the swamps you go through, the castles, Novigrad. It just enriches everything that I see. I'd even because not most gamers will do this unless you're an artist, but you'll stop walking down Novigrad and you'll just like turn the camera and be like, wow, that's an awesome building. Like, look at the door. Look at the door, man. That's cool as shit. And you're like walking up to characters and like zooming in and like try to like look at them and like, oh, look at his face. That's amazing. Wow. Because
That's
it's
why
yeah,
that's why I love to play on console because the playing on console is a little bit slower than on PC.
yeah,
And when you are playing on console, you can just go there and just look at things. And
yeah,
sometimes I'm like when I'm starting the new game, like
mm,
I bought the new game, like I don't
mm,
know, Dishonored 2 or something,
yeah,
and I'm playing it for like
mm,
I don't know 1 hour. I'm
yeah,
just going to different places and I watch how the things are made, and
yeah.
I'm going, wow, nice, nice,
I
nice.
just love getting lost in worlds. I mean, for years ago, for me, it was Skyrim. When Skyrim first came out, walking about Morrowind and stuff, it was incredible. And then recently, I think the two that I'm really looking forward to walking about in is Zelda Breath of the Wild.
Yeah, dude, I got the same. I got
Uh,
the same, dude. But
it's just
but
yeah. I mean, I know what you mean. It's just an amazing world to walk about in.
yeah, that's true. But the console and there is only one game, and I was
Yeah,
like, okay, okay, I will not buy this in the day one.
yeah,
I would rather buy it in like I don't know 5 months from now, just
yeah,
to have like better price and maybe more games. But
yeah.
to be honest, my friend just told me that this is like one of the best games he ever played,
Oh
and I
yeah,
and I'm like thinking about about buying it. So
yeah.
I don't know.
I know. I've been looking at the scores. So I was like, oh, wait till the scores come in because I've got a Wii U, so I can still buy it on Wii U.
Oh,
Um,
dude,
yeah, I know, so good. And then the thing is, I was waiting for the scores to come in, and I'm waiting, and then eventually I look at all the scores, and I'm like, holy shit! Like it's
yeah,
getting
yeah,
tens and 9.5s constantly. Like it's
yeah,
actually on par with the fucking Witcher scores you guys were
yeah.
getting. Like,
They got like 98 on Metascore
yeah, yeah, it's
right now.
ridiculous.
It's amazing. It's
Yeah,
amazing.
yeah. So Zelda definitely, and then obviously, actually, because I know so many people that worked in it, I'm just interested to see it. It's Horizon Zero Dawn from Gorilla.
Ah,
Like,
yeah.
it looks incredible. Also, like a more grown up version. But that's the funny thing, even with Horizon. But I'll just say this really quickly because I heard it ages ago and I thought it was quite funny, and I wanted to see your opinion on it. But people were actually at the time calling The Witcher like a grown up version of Zelda. Do you feel that? What do you think of that?
This is like good question.
Yeah. Because when I play it, I'm like, right, okay, he's got a sword, he's maybe not got a shield, but like, yeah, spells, magic, fantasy, dungeons, like monsters. It kinda, like, I can see where
Yeah,
people are, yeah,
maybe yes.
yeah.
in many terms, it is like Zelda for the grown-ups.
Yeah. I mean, totally. Because you walk about and you play it, and then even when you get in the horse, you're like, that makes sense actually. I never thought about that, but yeah, it's quite close to what actually Zelda's like. Holy shit! But then I suppose like it's different because obviously Witcher was based on the books, but you know, I don't know if the author maybe drew inspiration from games back, because I know originally Zelda was based or took a lot of inspiration from the Tom Cruise film. I'm trying to remember. It was like one of the first films he ever done. It was a fantasy film. He had a sword and a shield. I'm trying to remember this. It's something like Legend or something like that. It was one of the first films he ever done, and that's what Miyamoto took inspiration from making Zelda. And yeah, I mean, but then everything inspires everything. Like even
exactly.
Yeah, I mean, there's parts of Zelda in it, yeah, but maybe there's parts of Skyrim or Elder Scrolls or other stuff. So it's but I can see the comparison. Yeah, I can see the comparison. Anyway, cool. Okay, Marcin. Well, I'll leave it there because that's we could talk about games all day.
Games are awesome, dude.
Yeah, games are awesome. That's why
games are awesome.
But that's the reason we want to work in this industry, right? Because we're all fans. Yeah. So I mean, yeah. So, so for anybody who's wanting to see your stuff, where can they find you online?
You can find me on the ArtStation.
ArtStation.
And or the Facebook.
Yeah. And I'll leave links below so you guys can find you can find all the stuff for Marcin's work. And finally, just to thank Marcin for coming on and talking to us. It was great.
Thank you, dude. Thank you for having me.
Serious. Yeah, it was an honor. It really was. So it was great to talk to you.
The honor is mine, dude.
Oh, shucks. You just need to tell all your pals at CD Projekt Red to get it playing over their lunch hour and get some more followers, get some more subscribers.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. Cool. Okay, so guys, thanks for listening again to the Artcast. We will be back in a couple of weeks with another interview or talk. And remember to, if you're listening on YouTube, hit the subscribe button and give us a like or a comment. And if you're on iTunes, we would also love a feedback, a review if you can give it, a star rating, and of course subscribe on iTunes. And keep up to date. We'll have more awesome interviews coming for you. Thanks again to Marcin, and we'll speak to you guys later. Okay, bye.
Bye.